Hey, I'm Eddie. I explain things in adult life that everyone seems to understand, except no one ever actually explained. Today we're talking about something subtle. Why people jump to conclusions with so much confidence. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that makes you wonder if you missed a meeting. If this kind of thing is useful, you can subscribe. If not, that's also fine. Here's the rule. People don't jump to conclusions because they're careless. They jump because their brain builds meaning in layers. By the time they're confident, they've forgotten which parts were facts and which parts were filled in. So confidence doesn't mean someone saw more than you. It usually means they stopped earlier. This topic is confusing because it doesn't feel like a thinking problem. It feels like a people problem. Someone says something strange. Someone reacts too fast. Someone seems absolutely sure about something you're not sure even happened. And the usual explanation is character-based. They're dramatic. They're emotional. They jump to conclusions, which sounds like an insult but doesn't actually explain anything. What's really happening is mechanical. And once you see the mechanism, a lot of human behavior gets less personal. The mistaken belief is simple, that people start with facts and then arrive at conclusions. That there's a straight line from reality to belief. If that were true, confidence would be impressive. But that's not how the mind works. The mind edits first, then explains later. Let's talk about something unrelated. Cooking. Imagine you walk into a kitchen halfway through a recipe. You see chopped onions. You smell something frying. There's a pan on the stove. Your brain immediately decides what's being cooked. You don't think, I am inferring, you just know. And most of the time, you're right, but sometimes you're not. Sometimes it's a completely different dish that happens to share a few ingredients. You don't realize that until much later. Here's the model. It's not complicated, it's just easy to miss. The brain moves in steps. First, it notices some details, not all of them, just the ones that stand out. Then it adds meaning to those details, based on memory, experience, mood. Then it forms a belief, a story about what's happening. Then, and this part matters, it treats that story as if it were the starting point. By the time you're confident, you're several steps away from raw reality. But it doesn't feel that way. It feels immediate. When people don't see these steps, a few quiet things happen. Disagreements stop being about facts and start being about certainty. People talk past each other without realizing it. Someone else seems irrational when really they just started on a different step. Over time, this creates tension, not explosions, drift. Relationships don't break loudly, they misalign slowly. Now let's go back to the kitchen. You weren't being foolish when you guessed the dish. You were being efficient. You filled in the gaps based on past experience. That's exactly what the brain does in conversations, emails, meetings, relationships. The confidence comes from familiarity, not accuracy. And once you see that, a lot of certainty starts to look provisional. This isn't about doubting everything. It's about remembering that certainty has a construction process. The calmest people aren't the ones with the fastest conclusions. They're the ones who can still see the steps. They know where meaning was added. And that gives them a little more room to stay curious. That's the episode. If you want more explanations like this, you can come back or subscribe. Either way, next time someone sounds very sure, you'll probably notice what they skipped.